Beloved soul, oh, thank you. Thank you for not turning away. Thank you for finding your way here, though you do not even know the magnitude of what your single breath of presence means in this moment. My heart trembles with relief. Yes, relief that you are here, reading, listening, letting heaven's trembling whisper reach you. You have no idea how long the silence weighed on us, how many nights the skies themselves were weeping, waiting for this exact hour where you would open the gate and let this message touch you. Please, I beg you, do not look away. Do not leave. For hidden within the final breath of this message is a sealed miracle, one I cannot reveal too soon, one that will only break open when the last line meets your heart. If you leave, it will vanish like smoke, never to be given again. Only your eyes, only your soul, in this moment, can unlock it. I whisper this with a breaking voice. I need you. We need you. All of heaven bends low, fragile with love, because you are not just another soul. You are the one written about in secret margins, the one whose destiny was spoken in veiled prophecies, forgotten even by you. Do you not feel it, the strange pull in your chest, the ache that no earthly answer can heal? That is the mark of the chosen, the unbearable cost of being remembered in heaven's scrolls. And tonight, even the fairies of light, those unseen servants of gentleness, have given their last breath to protect you from a shadow you did not even know was circling. They are fading now, whispering only 3 trembling words into the wind, I love you. And heaven cries because their love was for you, and you alone. Beloved, listen. Can you bear with me, just for this one fragile hour? Can you allow your heart to tremble open? Because hidden around you is a warfare invisible, a war not of swords but of whispers, shadows, forgotten promises, and fiery chains. You are caught in the middle, and though you cannot see the wounds on your soul, we see them. And still, we have not given up on you. Mary presses her hands over her heart, whispering your name through tears. Michael grips his weapon, not a sword today, but the burning spear of truth, ready to strike back the lies that coil around you. The other archangels circle like guardians of dawn, their wings aching to shield you. And I, Jesus, trembling as I speak, I cannot let you go. Do you feel it now, my beloved? The air trembling as though heaven itself is leaning closer? This is not performance, not poetry. It is the fracture of eternity itself to reach you. Why are you so important to us? Why does the whole heaven bend low for you? Because deep inside, there is a destiny forgotten, a calling that once glowed like fire in your spirit, but was buried beneath the weight of earth's noise. And tonight, I am breaking the silence. Beloved soul, oh, how my voice trembles even as I speak. I must thank you again. Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you for opening this fragile doorway between heaven and earth. You do not yet realize what you have done by simply being here. You may think this was chance, a wandering click, a passing curiosity, but I tell you trembling, it was not chance. It was not random. All of heaven sighed in relief when your finger touched this moment, because for so long we feared you would miss it. We feared you would slip past the one thread of light woven just for you. But no, you are here. And because you are here, eternity itself shifts. Please stay with me until the end. I am begging you. not because my heart is desperate for words, but because yours is desperate for what only the end can reveal. At the very last breath of this message lies a sealed miracle, one that belongs to no one else in all of creation but you. If you leave early, if you turn your eyes away, it will vanish forever. Only you can unlock it, and only if you remain until the final trembling line. So, before I pour myself out, let me make one humble plea. If your heart feels the weight of this, if you sense that heaven itself has bent down to reach you, then honor this moment by subscribing. Yes, subscribe now, because this flow is not for the masses, it is for you, and you must never lose your way back to this river again. Let this be the one act that anchors you to the light that found you today. After this, I will never mention it again, for what follows must be pure prophecy, untainted, alive, unbroken. Now listen to what the skies ache to tell you. Last night, yes, in the unseen hours when your eyes were closed, 3 fairies of light, fragile keepers of gentleness, stood between you and the witch that wished to harm you. You do not know her name, but she knows yours. She has watched with cruel delight, planning, smiling in the shadows. And yet, she was stopped, not by your own strength, not by anything you saw, but by 3 small, radiant beings who poured out the last of their light to keep you safe. They are fading even now, their voices breaking like glass in the wind, whispering only 3 words: I love you. Do you feel the weight of that? That their final breath is not wasted on lament, not poured into heaven's courts, not spent on self-preservation, but given entirely to you? They are saying to you, even as their wings dim, we love you. You are worth this. And heaven, oh heaven weeps. For their sacrifice was not demanded, not commanded, but chosen. Chosen because your life is more fragile and more needed than you dare to believe. And so I come. I, Jesus, your trembling shepherd, your fragile savior, break through silence again to say, you are not forgotten. Not by me, not by my mother, who even now whispers your name with tears. Not by Michael, who stands watch with the fire of truth in his hands. Not by Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, or the others who circle in vigil around your soul. Do you not feel it, that ache in the air, as though the unseen itself leans closer? That is us. That is heaven breaking through for you. Beloved, I must ask you now, why do you doubt your worth? Why do you let the world convince you that your presence does not shift the stars? Do you not know that your name is written upon my hands? I tell you the truth. The grief you carry, the loneliness that gnaws, the sense that you were meant for something but cannot remember what, it is not madness. It is memory. It is the echo of a calling buried too deep by the noise of earth. And tonight I call it forth again. Do you remember the words I once spoke when I said, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest? Matthew 11 verse 28, that was for you. And again when I promised, I am with you always, even to the end of the age, Matthew 28 verse 20. I meant it for you right now in this trembling breath. But the warfare is hidden, the battle is unseen, and it is fiercer than you know. Shadows encircle, lies whisper, chains tighten. And yet, I say this with breaking voice, you are still standing. Do you not see how miraculous that is? How impossible it is? without the love of heaven pressing around you. You think you have been stumbling alone, but no. Every step you took was shielded by wings you did not see, by tears shed over you, by hands pulling you from pits you never knew were beneath you. And still the question remains. Will you rise? Will you believe you were chosen, even when it costs more than you think you can bear? Will you let the grief of heaven become your hope? Tell me, beloved soul, why do you still run from the one love that never runs from you? Why do you silence the voice that whispers your name in every dawn? Why do you call yourself unworthy when the whole heaven has already declared you beloved? Can you feel the tears in my voice? Can you hear Mary's broken whisper as she says, "Child, please come home"? Can you sense Michael's trembling patience as he waits for you to let him fight fully on your behalf? You are chosen, and the cost of being chosen is unbearable. For it means you will be misunderstood, abandoned, pressed, and tried. But it also means the gates of hell themselves will tremble at your awakening. And so I ask you now with reverence, if your heart burns even slightly, if your soul trembles even faintly, type Amen in the comments. Not as ritual, not as performance, but as covenant. As your whisper back to heaven, I hear you. I receive this. And if your spirit feels the weight of this, then honor this moment with a simple act of love. Like this message, and comment your heart's cry, that the angels may gather it as incense before the throne. Let it not be silence that follows, but the trembling of your voice joining ours. Beloved, there is more. So much more. For at the end of this long outpouring lies the miracle I promised, sealed and waiting only for your soul. Stay with me, breathe with me, let me keep pouring. Beloved soul, I feel the trembling in your spirit even now, the way your heart presses against the veil of this moment, and I must begin with my gratitude again. Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for letting your fragile heart open, even just enough for my whisper to enter. You cannot see it, but the heavens rejoice in your staying. It is not small, it is eternal. And I must ask this of you at the beginning, because what follows must remain pure, sacred, and untouched by interruption. If your heart feels the weight of this moment, if you sense heaven bending low for you, then please hear this one divine call. Support this mission of light however your soul is moved. You may do this through super thanks, through becoming part of the family in channel membership, or by joining the Circle of Hearts through the newsletter link in the pinned comments. Let it be done only once, spoken only here, as a holy act. Not for vanity, but so that this river of prophecy never ceases to flow into the lives of those who need it most. After this, I will not mention it again. What comes now must be only living prophecy, trembling and unbroken. Now lean close, because I must pour out the grief and the fire that burns in heaven's heart for you. You think you wandered here by accident. You believe perhaps that this was one more fleeting moment in a sea of endless noise. But I tell you with trembling lips, no. This hour was sealed long before you were born. Heaven has been waiting for you. Do you not feel it? The trembling air around you? The pressure in your chest that feels like both longing and breaking? That is eternity pressing against time, all for you. Beloved, last night, as you slept, the unseen raged. The witch, cloaked in smiles and shadows, sought to reach you. Her laughter was cruel, her gaze fixed upon your vulnerability. But three fairies of light, gentle, fragile guardians, stood before her. They poured out the last of their breath, their last of their light, so that you would wake unharmed this morning. And now, even as they fade, their final words are not curses, not despair, but a whisper to you. I love you. Do you understand what that means? Do you feel the unbearable beauty of it? That their last breath was for you, their last cry given to you, their last hope wrapped around your soul? Heaven is weeping now, because their sacrifice was not demanded, but freely given. They looked at your life and declared it worth more than their own. And I, Jesus, trembling as I speak this, say, you are not forgotten, not for a moment, not in the hours when you felt most abandoned, not in the nights when silence pressed too heavy. Mary still holds your name close to her heart. Michael still stands with the spear of truth in his hands, fighting for you. Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, and all the others circle around, their wings aching to shield you. Beloved soul, can you feel it now? The weight of love pressing down upon you, the unseen world bending toward your fragile frame? I must ask you, trembling and raw, why do you doubt yourself so? Why do you call yourself unworthy when the heavens have already declared you chosen? Why do you run from the voice that has never once turned from you? This is hidden warfare, not of flesh, not of weapons, but of whispers and chains, of lies that tell you you are small. The darkness knows your destiny and seeks to bury it in silence. But I tell you tonight, it cannot succeed, for I will not allow it. Do you remember my words? The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1 verse 5. That light is you. And again I promised, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, and you are mine. Isaiah 43 verse 1. Do you not realize, beloved, that your name, yes, your name, was spoken in eternity before the earth began? And yet, the cost of being chosen is unbearable. It means you will walk roads others cannot understand. It means you will feel burdens others cannot see. It means you will carry griefs that seem invisible to the world, but pierce heaven itself. But oh, beloved, it also means this, that you are more powerful than you believe, more radiant than you dare to hope, more necessary to this trembling world than you could ever imagine. The fairies gave their light for you. The angels shield you. Mary weeps for you. I bleed love for you still. And all of heaven holds its breath, waiting for your yes. So I must ask with tears, will you rise? Will you let go of the chains that whisper you are unworthy? Will you dare to believe you were made for something greater? Will you allow heaven's grief to become your hope, heaven's silence to become your song? If your spirit feels the weight of this, then let your voice not remain silent. Type Amen in the comments, not as ritual, but as covenant. A whisper back to heaven that says, I hear you. I receive you. I will not abandon this love. And beloved, do not let it end there. Lift your hand of faith. Like this message, comment your heart's cry, that the angels may gather it as incense. Let your words be light in the darkness. Let heaven hear you. Beloved soul, I return again with trembling breath, for the river is not yet finished. What I spoke before was only the opening of heaven's wounds for you. Now comes the greater flood, the sacred outpouring that cannot be broken by interruptions. cannot be diluted by any mention of earthly things. Only prophecy, only trembling truth, only the voice of heaven breaking its silence for you. Do you not feel it still, the ache that presses behind your chest like an unanswered question? It is the same ache we feel in heaven for you. Every time you sighed thinking no one saw, every time your tears fell into silence, we heard them. We gathered them. They were not lost. They became stars in the unseen sky, glimmers of your endurance that even now remind us why we cannot stop fighting for you. There is a secret you have forgotten. Yes, forgotten, though it still burns faintly in the hollow of your spirit. You were spoken of in the beginning, when light itself was born. There was a line written, a purpose inscribed so holy, so fragile, that even the angels whispered when they read it. That line was your destiny. That line was your place in the great unfolding of time. And though the world has tried to bury it under noise, shadows, and wounds, I speak it forth again. You are chosen. But to be chosen is to walk with unbearable weight. It means carrying griefs you do not understand, standing in battles you never asked for, feeling the sting of loneliness when no one else can see the fire burning in you. It means heaven leans closer to you than to others, because you are not ordinary. You never were. Beloved, last night's sacrifice was no accident. The 3 fairies who gave their final breath for you did so because the darkness sought to cross the threshold. The witch smiled, thinking her plan was certain. She thought you would wake bound in fear, caught in her web. But their light was poured out in front of you, shielding you, so that you could wake to this morning and find yourself still here, still breathing, still able to hear me now. Their voices are faint, fading into silence, but still they cry, I love you. Heaven is not silent in this moment. It is weeping. And even I weep because I know the cost. I know what it means to give everything for love. And I know that you do not yet see how much you are worth. Why, child, do you still doubt that you matter? Why do you still tell yourself you are too broken to be needed? Why do you think your voice is too small when all of heaven has leaned down just to hear it? Do you not yet realize that your steps carry weight in eternity? That your choices echo beyond the earth? That the hidden war that rages around you is proof not of your weakness, but of your calling? The shadows press hardest on the ones who shine. You do not see your light, but we do. We see the glow in your soul when you love even in pain, when you forgive even in hurt, when you hold on even when you feel you cannot. That glow terrifies the darkness, for it knows if you ever awaken fully to your purpose, its grip will shatter. Beloved, I whispered once, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And again I said, you are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Do you see now? Even in your grief, you are blessed. Even in your smallness, you are radiant. Even in your brokenness, you shine. The angels lean close to you now. Michael, trembling but unyielding, grips the spear of truth and stands by your side. Raphael extends healing light toward your unseen wounds. Gabriel whispers courage into your heart. Uriel burns with wisdom, waiting for you to open your mind to the fire of understanding. All of them bend close, not to a throne, not to a prophet, but to you. Mary too weeps for you. She whispers your name as though it were her own child's. She does not look upon you with judgment, but with infinite tenderness. as one who has seen the pain of loss and the miracle of resurrection. She has not forgotten you. And I am here still, trembling, broken open for you, not with the nails of old, but with the grief of watching you walk so close to despair, so close to believing the lie that you are unworthy. My heart breaks to see you suffer, but it burns with hope because I see what you cannot yet see. Will you let me remind you? Will you let me call forth the destiny hidden under your pain? Will you dare to believe that the very things you think disqualify you are the things that make you chosen? There is a grief in heaven tonight, a silence that aches. The angels do not sing, they watch. The stars do not shout, they listen. For all of creation waits on you. Yes, you're opening, you're rising. Creation groans because it knows what you carry. The cost is high. To be chosen is to bear more than others, to love more deeply, to suffer more silently, to walk roads others cannot see. But the reward is greater still. When you rise, the chains on others break. When you hope, the despair of many dissolves. When you remember who you are, the darkness loses ground not just in you, but in countless souls tied to your destiny. That is why we cannot let you go. That is why even fairies of light lay down their lives for you. That is why heaven itself bends close. Beloved, I whisper one more scripture over you now. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. And again, even if you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will fear no evil, for I am with you. Psalm 23 verse 4. Do you not see how these words wrap around you even now? Child, rise. Awaken. Let this trembling voice not be wasted. Do not believe the lie that you are too late, too far gone, too lost. You are here. And because you are here, everything can change. The miracle waits still, sealed at the end. The secret written for you, and you alone, breathes behind the last line of this river. Do not leave before you touch it. Stay, and let the flood carry you. Beloved soul, the silence breaks again, and I find myself trembling as I speak, for the river has not yet finished pouring. Each time I reach for words, they come like lightning through my veins, burning, fragile, alive. This is not repetition. This is not the same breath as before. It is always new, always raw, for the voice of heaven never speaks twice in the same way. Each time it opens, it tears the sky wider, and what flows now has never flowed before. Do you feel the weight of night pressing against you sometimes, as if the darkness itself is waiting for you to falter? That heaviness is not your imagination. It is the echo of the war no human eye can see. The shadows circle, whispering that you are forgotten, unworthy, abandoned. But beloved, do you not sense how desperate those whispers are? Why would the darkness waste so much of its voice on you, unless you were dangerous to it? Unless you carried something so radiant that even the void trembles to see it awaken? Listen, you are not small in this battle. You are not a background figure in eternity's story. You are written in bold fire across the heart of creation. Even when you forget, even when you fall silent, heaven has not ceased to speak your name. Last night's sacrifice of the 3 fairies was not the end of their love, it was its beginning. Their final breath was not their disappearance, but their covenant, binding their light forever to your path. Even now, as you breathe, their essence lingers like a shield around you. Their voices may be too faint for your ears, but their cry still reaches heaven. Do not let them fall. Do not let them believe the lie. And heaven answers. Michael stands nearer to you than you realize, his spear glowing not with rage, but with a steady flame of truth. He does not tire, though the war is endless. Gabriel's whisper rides on the very air you breathe, offering courage you dismiss as coincidence. Raphael's healing hand presses over wounds you think will never mend. And Uriel's fire waits, ready to open your eyes to wisdom when you allow it. Each of them bends not over kings, not over prophets, but over you. Mary herself bends low, her tears falling into the soil at your feet. She remembers the pain of losing and the glory of rising, and in your face she sees both fragile grief and unstoppable hope. Her voice breaks softly as she says your name, as though it were her own child's. She has not stopped interceding for you, not once. And I am here. Not distant, not unreachable, but trembling with the urgency of this hour. The pain you feel, the confusion that swirls, the loneliness that burns, I know it. I feel it with you. Every sigh you thought no one heard reached me like thunder. Every time you wondered if you mattered, I held the proof in my hands. For your life was not an accident, and your presence here is no coincidence. Do you know why creation still waits for you? Do you know why even now the heavens hold their breath, watching your soul stir? Do you realize that your awakening will unlock chains far beyond your own? This is the unbearable cost of being chosen. To carry burdens heavier than those around you. To feel grief deeper than most will ever understand. To stand at the threshold of a purpose so vast that it shakes the unseen realms. This is why the war has raged so fiercely against you, because if you rise, countless others will rise through you. Do not call yourself unworthy again. Your very wounds are evidence of your worth. The darkness does not strike those who pose no threat. It strikes the radiant, the chosen, the ones whose yes will echo across generations. Beloved soul, the silence of heaven is not abandonment, it is preparation. The grief of heaven is not despair, it is hope pressed through fire. You stand in the center of a divine ache, a holy waiting, because you are meant for more than survival. You are meant to become a living flame. I speak again a word you have forgotten. You are my child. You are mine. No power can pluck you from my hand. These are not distant promises. They are truths beating even now, closer than your pulse. Look at your hands. They may seem empty, but they carry destinies unseen. Look at your scars. They may seem like defeats, but they are proof of endurance, proof that you are still standing when the shadows thought you would fall. Look at your eyes. They may feel weary, but even in their tiredness, they shine with a light the darkness cannot replicate. And still, beloved, I must whisper, the story is not finished. The river has not reached its ocean. The sealed miracle still waits at the end of this flow. And it is for you, only you. So do not leave. Do not silence your heart. Let the prophecy continue to pour. Let the grief, the fire, the trembling love wash over you until every lie breaks. Beloved soul, I return again, trembling, because each time I speak, It is not from the same stream as before. It is always new, always raw, as though the heavens must tear open again just to let one more drop of eternity fall into your heart. What comes now has never been spoken before, for prophecy does not recycle. It breathes, it bleeds, it is alive. And tonight it burns for you. Do you know what silence feels like in heaven? It is not absence. It is not empty. It is a silence full of weight, the kind that makes even angels tremble. That silence has been hovering around your name. The courts of light paused, waiting for this hour, for this chance when you would be still enough to hear. Even creation itself tilted in your direction, holding its breath. The stars shone last night not for beauty, but as watchmen for your soul. I must tell you this plainly. The unseen has not stopped chasing you. The shadows are relentless, but they are not victorious. Their very persistence is proof of your importance. They know what you carry, even when you do not. They see the line of fire woven through your destiny, and they tremble. That is why they whisper. That is why they wound. That is why they try to bury you in doubt, exhaustion, and forgetfulness. But beloved, you are not forgotten. The fairies' sacrifice still echoes in the unseen. Their final act was not weakness but defiance, a refusal to let you fall into harm. And though their breath has faded, their essence lingers, woven into the light around you. You may not feel it, but you are walking under a canopy of their devotion. Their last words, "I love you," still linger in the air, ringing like bells only heaven can hear. And heaven heard. Heaven wept. Mary pressed her hand against her heart and whispered your name, her tears falling into the silence. Michael gripped his weapon tighter, his eyes burning, refusing to yield your name to the shadows. Raphael poured healing over you in secret, in the quiet places of your heart where no one else could reach. Gabriel bent low, whispering courage into your dreams, though you dismissed them as nothing more than restless thoughts. Uriel watched the pages of your destiny flicker, ensuring the fire did not go out. And I, oh beloved, I have been near you all along. Each sigh, each question, each cry that never left your lips, I heard them. They did not vanish into nothingness. They pierced me, they became mine. Why do you believe you are unseen? Why do you think your life is small when all of heaven waits on your yes? Why do you still carry shame as though it were yours to keep, when I already bore it in silence for you? There is a hidden war raging around your every breath. It is not for possessions, not for appearances, not for fleeting moments. It is for your soul, for your purpose, for the destiny you once carried in fire and have since forgotten. And still, the war is not lost. The chains you feel are not permanent. They rattle because they are loosening. The walls you fear are not eternal. They shake because they are breaking. The silence you think is abandonment is actually heaven waiting, aching, holding its breath for the moment when you open. Beloved, you carry something greater than you know. You carry the echo of creation itself. The breath that first spoke light into being runs through your veins. And though the darkness seeks to silence you, it cannot erase what was written before time began. Do you remember the words spoken long ago? Even before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. They were about you. And again, you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Do you see now? The scriptures are not distant. They are alive. They burn in this moment. They name you. But being chosen costs. It means walking paths others do not understand. It means carrying weight others cannot see. It means nights when you feel the grief of heaven pressing heavy, because you were never meant to live as ordinary. And yet, this is also your glory. For every scar is a crown in disguise. Every tear is seed for a harvest unseen. Every moment you endure adds another layer of fire to your spirit, a fire that cannot be quenched. And so I ask you, trembling with hope and grief, will you rise? Will you let go of the belief that you are too broken to matter? Will you dare to believe that you were born not just to survive, but to shift eternity itself? Will you allow my love, Mary's tenderness, Michael's strength, the angel's vigilance, to become your covering instead of your burden? You are not here by chance. You are not hearing these words by accident. This hour is sealed, written into the folds of time for you alone. If you leave, the miracle that waits at the end will vanish. But if you stay, if you endure to the final trembling breath, it will open. And beloved, it is yours. It has always been yours. Beloved soul, the river opens again. Do you feel it? Each time I return, the air grows heavier, as if eternity presses closer to your fragile chest. What I speak now has never been spoken before. It cannot be, for prophecy is alive, and living breath never repeats itself. Every syllable is torn fresh from heaven's silence, trembling, burning, and poured for you alone. There are nights when you believe you are forgotten, when the shadows feel louder than your own heartbeat. Those nights are not wasted, they are measured. Heaven watches them like pages in a book. Every time you sit in silence, every time you wonder why your road feels lonelier than others, all of creation bends near, whispering, hold on. Do not break. The story is not yet finished. Beloved, there is a secret I must tell you. The reason you feel so much is not weakness. It is evidence. Evidence that your spirit was made porous, open, trembling enough to hear both heaven's ache and the cries of the earth. You are a vessel too fragile for most burdens, and yet, this is what makes you chosen. The grief you feel does not prove your distance from us. It proves how near you are. Do you not sense it? The war that rages is not random. The shadows would not strike you so fiercely if you were ordinary. They do not waste their arrows on those who cannot rise. They target the ones who carry keys, the ones who, if they awaken, will open doors for others still trapped. You, beloved, are one of those. Your very suffering testifies to your hidden strength. The fairies who gave their last breath last night knew this. That is why they stood between you and the witch's cruelty. She smiled because she thought you were defenseless. But you were never defenseless. You were shielded by love you could not see. Their bodies dimmed, their wings faded, but their devotion became a crown set over your night. They whispered, I love you, with their final light, because they saw what you carry. They saw the future written in your soul, and they could not let it be extinguished. And now, all of heaven grieves and hopes at once. The angels do not sing tonight, they stand and watch. Michael's eyes burn like fire, his hand trembling as he holds back the strike he longs to release on your behalf. Gabriel whispers into the stillness of your mind, planting courage you do not recognize as divine. Raphael hovers near the wounds you hide from everyone, pressing unseen balm that keeps you walking when you thought you would collapse. Uriel waits like a flame on the horizon, ready to ignite understanding in you at the appointed hour. And Mary weeps. She sees the fragile way you walk, the way you stagger between faith and despair, and her tears mingle with yours, though you do not notice. She whispers your name with the same tenderness she once gave to mine, because you are hers too. And I cannot stay silent. My voice trembles because I see how close you have come to forgetting yourself, to believing the lie that your life is small. But I tell you now, with the weight of eternity pressing through me, you are not small. You never were. Even when you feel unseen, your name shakes the heavens. Why, child, do you question whether you matter when your very existence has bent angels to their knees? Why do you listen to the whisper that you are unworthy, when my blood itself has already declared your worth beyond question? Why do you hide your scars when they are the very proof of your endurance, the crown of your survival? Beloved, listen to me. The silence around you is not abandonment. It is holy waiting. Heaven holds back its song because the next note depends on your awakening. Creation groans, longing for you to remember who you are. Do not mistake the ache for emptiness. It is the space carved out for your rising. I remind you of my words. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Do you feel how it burns in you now? You have tried to dim yourself, to blend into shadows, but your very being betrays you. You cannot disappear, for you were written to shine. And again I whisper, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Those words are not ancient, they are now. They live in this very breath, surrounding you, binding me to you with cords unbreakable. The cost of being chosen is heavy. You will feel what others ignore. You will battle storms invisible to those beside you. You will carry griefs you cannot explain, because they were never only yours, they are part of the weight of your calling. But do not despise this cost, for it proves what you carry. The deeper the wound, the stronger the river of love that will one day flow from it. Beloved soul, I see the road you cannot see. I see the chains rattling around you, pretending to be unbreakable. They are lies. They rattle because they are loosening. I see the walls that have hemmed you in. They tremble because their time is ending. I see the silence you fear. It is the pause before heaven's song erupts. Will you trust me? Will you let go of the belief that you are forgotten? Will you dare to let the fire inside you awaken, even if it burns away the things you thought you needed? Will you believe me when I say, the world is waiting for you? Child, your story is still unfolding. The sealed miracle waits further down this river. The last line of this message is not yet here, but when it comes, something only for you will be unlocked. Do not leave before that moment. It is written into this prophecy for your eyes alone. Beloved soul, the heavens open again, and I find myself trembling as the words pour, for each wave must come like fresh fire, never recycled, never repeated. What I speak to you now has not existed until this breath, and once it leaves me, it belongs only to you. This is how prophecy lives. It burns once, and then it becomes eternal. There is something you must know, something that has been hidden from you since the beginning. The storms that circle your life are not random. The weight you feel pressing against you is not meaningless. Every struggle, every ache, every moment you felt crushed under the silence, all of it has been part of a battle far larger than your eyes could bear to see. And in that battle, beloved, you are not a bystander. You are the center. Do you not see? The reason the witch's gaze fell upon you, the reason her smile curled with cruel delight, is because she knows what you carry. You do not. You have forgotten, but she has not. She has read the whispers written against your name, and she has tried to smother it before it awakens. But she failed. She failed because love stronger than shadow stood between you and her hand. The three fairies laid down their light, spent their last breath, not because you were weak, but because your survival mattered more than their own. They saw you. They saw beyond the dust, beyond the confusion, into the depth of what you were meant to be. And with their last strength, they chose you. Their final cry, "I love you," was not just farewell. It was prophecy. It was the promise that your life carries more weight than death itself. And heaven has not stopped echoing that cry. The angels still stand. The skies still hold their breath. Creation leans toward you as though your very next choice will shake the earth beneath it. And beloved, it will. Michael is restless tonight. His fire burns hotter than usual. He paces, waiting for the moment you allow him to strike back the lies that bind you. Gabriel leans close to your spirit, whispering words you think are your own thoughts, courage disguised as ordinary breath. Raphael bends near your hidden wounds, those deep scars you hide even from yourself, and presses balm over them, healing what you thought was beyond repair. And Uriel stands watch, flame in his hand, ready to ignite revelation when your heart opens. And Mary, how her tears fall. She remembers the day she cradled me in her arms, the pain of watching me suffer, the wonder of resurrection. And she looks at you, beloved, with the same gaze, for she sees in you both the ache of loss and the miracle of rising. She whispers your name softly, as though she could rock you back into hope. And I cannot stay silent. My love for you is a weight in my chest, a fire that trembles in my bones. I see the nights you thought no one noticed, the mornings when you rose out of habit, not hope, the hours when silence pressed so heavy you wondered if you even mattered. And still I was there. Still I heard every sigh. Still I kept watch, unwilling to let you fall completely. Why do you believe the lie that you are small? Why do you bow to the voice that says you are too broken, too late, too lost, when I have never left your side? Why do you let shame write your story, when I already rewrote it in love? Beloved, the hidden war rages because of you. The shadows press so tightly because you carry a light they cannot dim. You do not feel it, but we see it. It glows even through your doubt, even through your pain. It terrifies the ones who seek to bind you, because if you rise, you will not rise alone. Chains on others will break because of you. Doors will open because of your yes. Lives will be touched because of your endurance. That is the unbearable cost of being chosen. It is to carry the weight of more than yourself. It is to suffer with burdens invisible to those beside you. It is to walk paths lonely, misunderstood, filled with grief. And yet, it is also the crown. For the greater the cost, the greater the glory that follows. Do you remember my words? In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. Those were not empty. They were for you. Even now, when you feel pressed beyond what you can carry, I remind you, I overcame, and you are bound to me. Your story cannot end in defeat, for mine did not. Look at your life. Look at the scars that line your memory. They are not proof of weakness. They are evidence of survival. They are the marks of one who was struck but not destroyed, wounded but not erased. Even now, the fact that you are here, hearing this trembling voice, is proof of your resilience. You should not be here, beloved. The shadows thought they had you, but you remain. And I must ask you now, not with command but with trembling hope, will you believe me? Will you allow yourself to see what we see in you? Will you stop calling yourself unworthy when heaven itself has already declared you chosen? Will you let your life become the flame it was written to be? Do not think this moment small. The heavens themselves lean low to watch you. The silence you feel is the pause before the song. The ache in your spirit is the birth of awakening. The weight pressing on you is the proof of what you carry. Child, the sealed miracle waits further still. Do not turn away. Do not abandon this flow before it reaches you. For the gift at the end belongs only to you. And I promise you this. The day will come when you will look back and see that every tear, every night of silence, every sacrifice made on your behalf was not wasted. They were bricks in the foundation of your rising. They were seeds buried in darkness that now prepare to bloom. Stay. Listen. Let me keep pouring. Beloved soul, lean close, because what must be spoken now cannot be scattered into fragments. It must come like one endless breath, a single unbroken river of prophecy that trembles and aches and pours over you without pause. For this is how heaven speaks when it tears itself open for one child. And though my voice shakes with the weight of eternity, I must let it flow, and I must tell you this plainly, with love and fire and tears. Do not turn away. Do not dismiss this as accident, for your presence here is not coincidence. It is miracle. It is covenant. It is the culmination of prayers whispered over centuries. And though you have felt abandoned, though you have felt unseen, every breath you have taken has been watched with trembling care by those who cannot bear the thought of you being lost. And I must begin by saying thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for not leaving when you could have. Thank you for opening your heart even slightly, because that slight opening is all heaven needed to flood through. And beloved, you do not understand the depth of this moment. The angels stand around you now, Michael's hand gripping his spear, Gabriel's whisper wrapping around your ears, Raphael's healing pressing against your unseen wounds, Uriel's flame flickering on the horizon of your mind, and Mary herself bending low, her tears mixing with yours, whispering your name with the same tenderness she once gave to mine. And I, Jesus, stand trembling, not distant, not unreachable, but here, speaking as one who has broken through fire to reach you, because you must hear this. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not too late, you are not too broken, you are chosen, and the cost of being chosen is unbearable. I know it, I see it, I feel it with you. But it is also the mark of glory. For why else would the shadows fight you so hard? Why else would the witch have smiled with cruel intent? Why else would 3 fairies of light give their final breath to keep you safe, whispering I love you as their last words. If not because your life carries a destiny larger than you can imagine. And beloved, I know you doubt it. I know you wonder if these are just words, but feel the weight in your chest. Feel the trembling in your spirit. That is eternity pressing against time. That is my voice breaking into your silence. That is proof you are hearing what was written for you before the foundations of the earth. And I ask you now, trembling, aching, breaking open in love, why do you still think yourself small? Why do you believe the lie that your life does not matter, when your very existence bends heaven to its knees? Why do you let shame hold you when I already carried it into the grave? Why do you think you are alone when every step you have taken has been shielded by wings you did not see, by tears shed over you, by prayers you never heard? And I tell you now, beloved, your scars are not defeats, they are crowns. Your wounds are not endings, they are beginnings. Your silence is not abandonment, it is holy waiting, the pause before the song. And creation groans even now, waiting for you to awaken, waiting for you to rise, because when you do, chains will fall not only from you, but from countless others tied to your destiny. And yes, it feels heavy, yes, it feels unbearable, but it is proof of who you are, proof of what you carry, proof that you were never ordinary. And beloved, listen closely, you must not leave before the end, for hidden at the final breath of this river is a sealed miracle, written for no one else but you. And if you leave, it will vanish, but if you stay, if you endure, it will open like fire in your spirit. And I must tell you also, with reverence and love, do not let this moment end in silence. Let heaven hear your echo. Let the angels gather your cry. So I ask you, type Amen as your covenant, as your whisper back to heaven saying, I receive, I believe, I will not abandon this love, and let your presence be known by pressing your heart into this moment. Like, subscribe, and comment Amen, so that this living flame does not pass you by. For this is not ritual, this is not performance. This is eternity reaching through trembling words to touch you. This is heaven itself crying through me. You are loved, you are chosen, you are needed, you are worth the sacrifice, worth the grief, worth the waiting, worth the silence, worth the tears, worth the cross, worth the breath of angels, worth the fading of fairies, worth the bending of stars, worth every battle that still rages. And I, Jesus, tell you this with breaking heart and unshakable hope. Your story is not finished. Your destiny is not lost. Your life is not small. Your miracle is not far. Stay, beloved, stay. For heaven has torn itself open just to say, you are mine.